Hey, how you doing? Glad you made it. This is our fifth and final step on the journey back to the Ashes of 2005. If you've seen the first four parts, you probably know that going into this final match, Australia needed to win to retain the Ashes. If they win outright, then that would make the series a draw. 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw for each side. But they have to win. England, on the other hand, they can win or draw, and they will win the Ashes for the first time in quite a long time. So that's the situation going into this fifth match. I want to say 2 things quick. I want to say thanks to everyone who's commented on the first 4 videos and shared some personal stories about where they were, what they were doing, what they were feeling when this actually happened back in 2005. It's been fascinating and fun to read those comments, and it shows me just how important this series is to the people from both countries. So that was very, very fun to read, and I appreciate everyone taking the time to write. And the second thing is this is the first video I've done on this channel that has sort of a longer format, kind of a documentary style format. If you have any recommendations about what might be interesting to take a look at next, like a lengthier video like this, whether it's cricket or Aussie rules football or rugby, I'm sure there are a lot of legendary games, matches, players that are sort of in 30 minutes or longer video, or like made for as a movie or documentary. If you have anything you'd suggest, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to take a look. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the fifth and final match of the 2005 Ashes.
Around about 10 million people watched that game in the UK alone, and suddenly, from a crushing defeat at Lord's, England had turned the sum around and they led 2-1. As for the Aussies, they were on the ropes. Imagine this: to retain the Ashes, they had to win here at the Oval. Dawn at the Oval. England 2-1 up and only needing a draw to finally bring home the Ashes. For Michael Vaughan's team, chances like this come once in a lifetime.
William Blake's Jerusalem rang out all over the nation that morning. Some even compared the hype to the 1966 Football World Cup. One thing was certain: winning the toss would be critical to England's chances.
Michael.
Is it always better to bat first no matter what, or does maybe the weather have something to do with that?
Vaughan has the coin and Ricky Ponting will call.
Heads is the coin.
The toss was crucial because what England needed to do was to try and bat Australia out of the game.
Tail.
For what it's worth, I've never seen one of the captains throw the coin in the air. Usually in sports, an official or a referee throws the coin and one of the captains calls it. But there, it looked like Michael Vaughan was the one to throw it in the air. Another unique thing about cricket.
Michael Vaughan has won the toss.
Won the toss and batted first. It was a belting pitch, and they just thought, right, with 400, 450, and it's ours.
It's almost the public and the press thought we'd won the Ashes anyway. There's all these plans being made which didn't help us, to be honest, being told about open-top buses and such like.
Bowling there.
With expectations already high, England's openers made a fine start.
All that side of stuff between second and third.
Beautiful shot. Just a lovely, lovely straight drive. Shot of the morning for me from Marcus Trescott.
Then that man Warne took charge of the ball, and it was as if he was taking on the English single-handed.
Warne changes the game. That's what he's been so great at over the years.
That's brilliant. Fantastic catch.
And it's a scary sight for batsmen. And if you're an England supporter, you're trembling when that happens.
The best move must be, and always will be, the move that your opponent least wants you to play. And that's what Warne has. He knows what the batsman doesn't want to happen, and that's what he makes happen.
England's captain came to the crease to steady the ship.
He's a thinking bowler, not just because he's a great leg spinner, but the way he changes his field, he'll change his angle of delivery, he'll float a few up, he'll bowl a few faster.
Well, sometimes it's creating of an impression of something's happening when it's not really. And that's a combination of a lot of different things.
You fancy scoring off him, but he creates opportunities because he's that clever. He's quite a wily old fox.
And sure enough, Warne the fox trapped his prey. With Warne on a roll, England's batsmen were falling apart.
Ooh, that is close. That's really well bowled.
Bowled him! There it is, the battle's over. And Shane Warne gets his fourth.
That's big for Australia.
You think back to the 70s, and the archetypal Australian hero was a Dennis Lilly with a big moustache and, you know, bulging biceps and shirt flapping and bowling at 90 miles an hour. And now it's Shane Warne with his bottle blonde hair and his earring and his flashing smile and a fat tummy.
Well, I mean, English people have a
Wouldn't
love-hate
call it
relationship
fat.
with Australians.
Well, you could call it a love-hate relationship. I loved them and they hated me.
They did finally break into a chorus of, "We wish you were English, we only wish you were English." And I think they would love Warne to be English. I think if England had Shane Warne, they could really go places as a team.
Well, England didn't have Warne, but luckily they did have Strauss, who went serenely past his 50.
Pick one player in advance, one England player, to play the innings that England needed, it would be Strauss.
Runs for Strauss again, backward a point.
Someone at the top has to get you runs, has to get you a start. And he just concentrated. He knew exactly what he had to do, which was to bat time as well as score runs, and he set himself to do it brilliantly. When Fred came in, at that point, England are thinking, well, actually, we probably, if we don't do anything stupid, if we just hold ourselves together for the next 2 sessions, this is it.
Oh, he's hit that one. It's going a long way down in the ground. Is it over the top? Well, the crowd is signalling 6. I'm not too sure. One way or the other. It's Freddie Flintoff's half-century.
Well, he's been all over this series.
So good that the only way that you're going to come unfounded is if you start thinking too much. And then when someone like that thinks too much, he gets confused. So he's just better off going to play with the ball. He's outstanding. With the bat, he's naturally can hit it out of the ground at will.
But now...
What he said there reminded me of Spinal Tap, because I think David St. Hubbins said about Nigel at one point, like, you know, well, Nigel's confused now, isn't he? Just reminded me of that. I don't know if that's the correct line, though.
Now he's worked out that the game batting is not only about 4s and 6s, it's about controlled shots and, you know, finding the gaps and kind of manipulating the bowling to your favour.
After Flintoff's 50, Strauss reached 100 and became the only player on either side to do so twice in the series.
That's his 100. This has been a superb knock.
Strauss must have been known for his batting, because I haven't heard his name mentioned in terms of bowling, so maybe he doesn't bowl. He bats in fields, I would guess.
That's Mrs. Strauss there, and boy, she's delighted.
And the Ashes were seeming to look safer by the ball. But that didn't last. England collapsed under pressure, all out for 373.
Wow.
Marvellous hand today.
It wasn't bad,
God, he's
but
playing
was it good
in
enough
so
to defend?
close.
Makes the decision for Shane Warne.
It just gave a little sniff of an opportunity to Australia. 370 was a bit of a nondescript score. They had the chance of getting to 500 and doing the thing that they really wanted to do, which was to set Warne going on a slightly wearing pitch and put England under pressure.
The morning, day 2, and Australia started to bat with greater resolve than at any time in the series.
Into the gap, and it races away to the boundary. That's the first 4. Oh, good shot. He's got that one away too.
But for the next 2 days, the great British weather took over, and the Australians surprised everyone by showing a reluctance to bat in bad light.
You know, the conditions were borderline playable. It was arguable that, that you would come off in normal circumstances, but these were not normal circumstances. And I think it was, if it wasn't important in terms of the time that was actually lost, it was a psychological blow to Australian esteem. I think as a cricket team, you always try to do what the opposition doesn't want. And in this sense, I think they did exactly what England would have preferred them to do.
That was a decision that, you know, I thought we maybe had to stay out there because of the time in the game. But that was a decision that was made.
Shane Warne did not seem like thrilled about the decision. Bad light, does that just mean darkness? Like during the day it gets cloudy or a storm comes in and it gets too dark? You know, I think, you know, matches at Wimbledon get you know, called and postponed for darkness, but I always assumed it was late in the day when it's just actually getting dark. But this looks like it's kind of in the middle of the day. And unless I'm misinterpreting what bad light is, it looks like it's just dark.
When the weather finally cleared, the game was on a knife edge.
It cleared, and then it's okay.
With both Australian openers making hundreds, they were on course for a big total and a daunting lead.
Langer watching the ball close onto the bat. Oh, good shot. He's got that one away too.
But they hadn't reckoned on fiery Freddie. With Simon Jones out injured, Flintoff embraced the challenge of bowling for 2.
An old ball, I might say.
18 overs in a row, astonishing performance for a bloke who must have been almost physically out of gas.
In the very first part 1, in the first 5 minutes, Stephen Fry, I think his name's Stephen Fry, said he was talking about Freddie Flintoff, and he said he said like he's a handsome guy, but he's not handsome in a ridiculous model kind of way, or something like that. And at the time, I had no idea what he was talking about, but now I kind of get it, what he meant.
2-1 up, and you're on the brink
Not ridiculous.
To do something special. You know, you just don't seem to get tired. Your body doesn't ache. You just want to be involved. You want the ball in your hand, and you want to make a difference.
Must be LDW, surely. Yep, it's a slow death from Rudy Kitson, but it is a death. That's also close. That is also out.
It's been an extraordinary privilege to watch this bloke, this force of cricketing nature, just say, I have the tools here, I have the power, and you're going to witness me doing these things with bat and ball.
Could be out. It's a good catch. Australia all out. 367.
Oh, lower.
Everyone had expected Australia to establish a big first innings lead, but incredibly, they didn't even get past England's total. So when the new innings began, the game was still wide open, and England were facing the magnificent Warne once again.
Oh, nice area, Shane.
I think there's a few England supporters there trying to con the umpires into taking England off.
There was this wonderful byplay in the crowd between the English elements and the Australian elements, where the Englishmen were flourishing their umbrellas in the air and the Australians were taking off their shirts in order to indicate that it was basking Australian sunshine. And of course the Australian players went along with the gag by coming on in sunglasses, which was just a golden moment.
Well, if they do delay the game for bad light, do they make it up the next day or something? I mean, it's not like it's just forgotten about, is it? I don't know.
Not again. What are they doing?
Before long, the English fans got their wish and play was ended by bad light again. The last day of the summer, and the Ashes still in the balance. The tension was palpable, and England's challenge was clear. Bat out the day, and the Ashes would be theirs.
Morning, everyone. Stirring moments. Anticipation on everyone's face around the ground, and everyone is waiting for this final day.
The old warhorse Glenn McGrath, the scourge of English batsmen over the past decade, summoned up one last mighty effort to wrest the series from England's grip.
Oh, beautifully bowled. That's much better. Wickets are what Australia need.
So this was probably a month or two, or maybe a month and a half after the first test. So his ankle, I'm sure, is completely better by now, or I would imagine it's completely better by now.
In the air.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great catch.
Magnificent catch.
Look at this grab from Adam Gilchrist.
Man, you gotta see with your eyes, pick that ball up so quickly. You gotta launch your body horizontally, and you gotta make the catch in about, less than a second. It's pretty impressive.
Sensational. And the breakthrough that Australia wanted this morning, can they get on a roll from here at 67 for 2?
The very next ball, it was Ian Bell in the firing line.
2 slips in position. In the air, got him! Warne's got him! That's a catch! That's 2 in a row! The Aussies are back in business. Well, have a look at him. This is unbelievable. Surely we can't have another finish like those that have gone before.
And with McGrath on a hat-trick, who should step up to the plate but Kevin Pietersen?
Here we go. Oh! Has he got him? A big appeal, not out. Hit him on the arm.
Looked like it hit him on the head.
Dear, oh dear. Let's have a close look here. Shoulder, fantastic decision.
He knew that this was his opportunity, but this was also his threat. This was also the possibility of being the man who bottled this important juncture in English cricket. So he had everything to gain and everything to lose as well.
It's a fine line sport sometimes, and we had held one of those couple of catches early when he was on nothing at the start of the last Test match. He probably averaged around 30, and people would have been saying, "Is he good enough for Test cricket?"
The guy before Shane Warne said he's got everything to gain and everything to lose. Usually people say everything to gain, nothing to lose, or everything to lose, nothing to gain. But he's got everything to gain and everything to lose. That's a big moment in your life when that's on the line.
Oh, he's dropped it. Dropped it.
But someone was smiling on Pietersen.
It comes so quick.
Is that the moment or what? It's almost...
He followed one from Lee. It went head high to Shane Warne, his old mucker, at slip, the sort of thing that Warne would normally swallow. And somehow it just burst through his hands.
Most extraordinary.
And it's interesting, when a chance comes under circumstances like that, how hard your hands can get.
Saw a big flash, Brett Lee bowling, and I had my hands there, and it looked like I just felt, oh yeah, I've got this, thank you. And then it just sort of hit me right down on the drumstick there, and so I must have dipped, so it did me for lack of pace. So I've caught some unbelievable ones over the years, and
I just want to say, if there's anyone out there watching this that hasn't seen cricket or played cricket, like I was in that position a few months ago, and if you think that the ball must be soft because they catch it with bare hands, I can assure you, it's not soft. And I was amazed by that when I found out how hard a cricket ball is, and they catch it just like that. It's impressive too. It's a hard ball, harder than a baseball.
It does make you feel better that you drop one. I think it's probably the worst feeling in cricket, no matter what the situation of the game.
Fortune favours the brave, and I'm a pretty brave cricketer, I'm a pretty positive cricketer, and that's the way I went about my business, and I took the attack to Australia.
There you go.
Fortune favours the brave.
Oh, that's a heck of a strike. My goodness. Really, that's exceptional cricket.
And it's just the sporting gods up there decided that, no, we're going to drop a few and give him a bit of a life, and he's going to have a bit of luck, and it's going to be his day. And in between having all that, he played, you know, an unbelievable innings and showed what a great player he is, what an outstanding player he could be.
Nicely played. That's the 50 for Pietersen.
The way he attacked after lunch on that last day altered the whole atmosphere and feeling, and I think that was the moment that Australia just thought, no, it ain't going to happen for us.
Jeez.
That one, where's it gone? Straight in the air, it's another 6. Again he goes.
He's just...
Sean Tate, it was a good effort. Hang on to it.
Oh! Right up the middle. Man, he's taking big swings. Aggressive swings.
Oh, what a gogger that shot was. It's baseball.
Pietersen batted out of his skin, but the possibility of defeat still existed. When Collingwood was England's 6th wicket to fall, they were still only 192 ahead, and there was plenty of time left for Australia to make the necessary runs.
Terrific catch.
That's a beautiful stroke with which to make a maiden Test century. Last Test match of an Ashes series.
To me, the critical moment almost of the whole series, and that's not underestimating everything that had gone before, came in the 71st and the 72nd over. First, Brett Lee bowled a ball of 94.7 miles an hour. That's very, very quick.
He has played some fantastic cricket today. When he hits big.
Massive eruption. Great relief of tension, but still not quite enough, still not quite there. Next over, Pietersen faces Warne. What's Warne got left? What has he got left? The great champion.
Oh, man.
What a bit of batting.
And he got there and he hit it back over his head for 6. That, to me, was the moment everyone on the field and everyone on the ground knew England finally were going to win the Ashes.
Did that cleanly.
A tired Glenn McGrath finally got his man for a spellbinding 158, but by then it was too late for Australia to save the Ashes.
England under...
Now, Pietersen, I do think he was young, early 20s, so he was young, and man, he came through. He certainly came through.
Severe pressure. And he's played the innings of his life.
Pietersen will receive a standing ovation. He gets one from Shane Warne at the moment.
Shane and I are good friends, speak to each other daily. And I feel sorry for him. I mean, he did his part. I mean, he was magnificent in the series. He was absolutely sensational. The bloke is a true champion and a true legend. And I respect him as much as any legend. He's just fantastic.
Oh, what a delivery. Giles kicks the turf in disgust, but Warne is unbowed and unbeaten to the end.
With England 341 runs ahead and only a few overs left to play, the game was effectively over. For Warne and McGrath, it was the end of an era.
I said to Glenn, come here, you know, this is the last time you and I are going to be here. We've been, you know, we've done pretty well over here in this sort of time. It's the last time we're going to play together over here in England. Come here, and just walked off together.
The end was a total anticlimax in a way. You know, after all these incredible matches and tense finishes, we're then standing around for 20 minutes, and I was outside the England dressing room at that point, and they were just waiting for something to happen. And there were the umpires, sort of posing around, looking at the light, you know. Everyone just wanted the game to be called off. And it was odd in a way. It showed how cricket kind of still has this old-fashioned kind of ambience about it, that the umpires, 2 men in white, have to stride out to the middle and deliberately take the bails off before the match can be called off. It was a charade.
What a performance from these two gentlemen.
All-time perfect. There it is.
England have regained the Ashes.
The Oval Test match was fantastic. To come down to the last day of the series, I'm not sure how many series over the years have come down to the last day, just about the last session of the whole series.
We had brilliant attacking batsmanship. We had terrific defensive batsmanship. We had wonderful swing.
They can just call it off even though there are overs left? They can just determine the game to be a draw? I'm assuming it was called a draw without coming back to finish it? I'm a little confused about that. But obviously, he's wearing a medal, so it's that must be the way it's done.
Bowling, we had brilliant leg spin, and we got no result. It was just perfect. It was the kind of test match that is just impossible to explain to Americans because there was no result. And everyone wanted them to be no result.
Let me see what he said. Yeah, impossible to explain to Americans. Yeah, I guess American sports usually, everybody wants a winner and a loser, whether it takes tiebreakers or overtimes or things. So I guess that's true, but it's not like it didn't have a result. The result was a draw. And that draw led to this. And when there's confetti falling down, that means there was a result. So, I mean, yeah, I guess there's not a winner and a loser, but it is a result, and the result leads to this.
When we beat Australia, it is a joy that you cannot possibly transmit or communicate to others. It is so intense, it radiates your whole being, and you skip on air for weeks.
Well, these are some of the most fantastic scenes ever seen in English cricket.
It's been a summer story, a summer-long story. We've had, good weather, we've had bad weather, we've had excellent crowds, we've had 20,000 people turn away on Monday from Old Trafford. It's just been awesome, and cricket is a brilliant sport, played by pretty good guys, and I think it's back where it belongs, and I hope it stays there.
I've probably been a nightmare to live with throughout the whole summer. My wife's not really got much conversation out of me at all. And throughout the summer, my mind's just been purely focused on trying to achieve what so many people have tried to do. But I generally believe we had an opportunity to do so. And when you believe you have an opportunity, you have to try and take that.
So there... Is that the Ashes? Because that's small. Is that the Ashes, or is that a replica that each player got or something? Because if that's the Ashes, then I think that's the coolest thing ever, because, sports trophies tend to be so big and overly decorated and, just over the top. It'd be, I want that to be the Ashes, because it's such an important thing, and it shows that it doesn't have to be like over the top big to be important, That's about the size of a chess piece. That's cool.
Here it is, finally. The most famous cricketing trophy of all, reclaimed after 16 long years. And with it come memories of the greatest series that the world has ever seen.
Cricket from this man. Oh, Stephen Anderson with a slower ball. One of the great balls. Given the moment, given the batsman, and given the match, that is a staggering gamble that's played off for Harmison.
Giles has done his stuff.
That's cool. Wow. At the very end there, he said, Giles has done his stuff. I'm not sure if he was talking about that final match or throughout the series, but it's good to hear because I know he was the one getting a lot of criticism after the very first match. That was great. That was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about different things, about the flow of the game, at least this style, this test match style. But it was such drama. And thanks again to everyone who joined me on this trip back to 2005 and shared their thoughts with me in the comments. That was very cool. I appreciate that. And like I said at the beginning, if you have any recommendations about videos, I could take a look at on this channel, I would be very appreciative. Just pass them on to me in the comments. Anything maybe 30 minutes or longer would be something I would consider in this sort of style. So that would be great. I hope you liked it. I know this was an incredibly important match to the two countries, and it's remembered as one of the greatest. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I did, and hope to see you again soon. All right, thanks.